And okay, so I ended up in a church that I ended up doing a lot of things, and I think just that the leadership of the church just noticed that I was a resource in more than one way. Mos, when you're that girl, when you're that man, you are creative, you are, you know, you are gifted as a person. I'm gifted, right? I now know that I'm gifted, but I didn't know then. And so obviously these gifts were helping with certain departments. So I was hardworking. I was there. I was working as a worker in the vineyard of the Lord, But this time, guys, life is falling apart, okay? And I'm asking myself, ooh, but Lord, I'm fasting. The girl is thin due to fasting. The girl has eye bags due to praying all night. The girl is always going to church. The girl is always present, okay? And when I started directing these questions, he would always take it back to me. It's you. You don't have enough faith. It's you. You're not praying correctly. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. You're not tired. I remember I came back from work once, and I was not in the same city now, but obviously, there was still some mentorship there that I would just call and be like, oh, come so, please pray for me. So I phoned and I said, you know what? I'm running a business on the side besides my work. And my work, begushuba. Guys, begushuba. It was shubering. Shubering. All of a sudden, in life in general, had a lot of enemies. I did not understand. Things were falling apart. Okay. And I was told that my problem is I'm not tithing enough, right? So I started the tithing process. It still wasn't helping, guys. I can't explain to you how deep in despair you sink when you're trying everything, even when it means that you need to take a portion of your finances that are already ziapeta. When you get your salary, you don't see where it's going. And you are trying to plant it back so you can get it back, and you're trying this whole system. Ega Moses, ega Abraham, uyayizama man, And no man, just for you, other people is working. Like, they have testimonies, but you, ow. And when you try, and what is the problem so I can fix it? I'm not a lazy Christian. If I need to go and sleep on the mountain, I'm prepared. I was that girl, guys. So I can stand here and say today that I gave it my best, my absolute best. It's not that people that leave Christianity are people that were like the rules were too stringent for them or whatever. I can say that I was a soldier in that army and I did my absolute best. That is why when I felt that I was not compatible to Christian living, I took a break. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that thing where I'm going to church and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So when I was in there, I was in there for results. And the results, they never came. And when they never came, it always came back, you are not doing something right. And when I find out I have my gift, this is hard now to reconcile after years of these things being drilled into your head that, ancestors are this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. Only to find out that the people with testimonies are people that go back home and they slaughter. And they do Thanksgivings and they come back in January to church and then they give your testimonies. And that's what it is. It's always finding a balance in life and learning your spiritual principles as to how is it that the world works. You can't be stuck in a mechanism that is not working for you, African child. That mechanism was built for a certain culture at a certain point in time. Yes, those teachings and those principles are still very much relevant. Absolutely. But for the African child, we have our own identity that we are now, yes, molding with modernity. So if we are talking about prophecy, it is a gift and career that evolved from traditional healing because of the forced laws of the 1950s, the indigenous acts that were brought upon by white people that abolished indigenous healing and practices. And our gogos had to run into the church and use their gifts there. And that is why today we use siwashos and salts and what, because those things were not suspicious to the white man, but we knew that these elements have power. And together with prayer and our ancestral powers, we can then still bring healing to the people without being killed and witch hunted and burnt by the white people in the 1950s. And so Isprofeto came about. This is not some there is a misconception that traditional healers, prophets, anyone working within the ancestral realm, right? We are all workers, have demonic forces, or if we say the name of Jesus, we'll burst into fire, or we don't believe in God, or whatever the case may be. But God is the center and the creator. Alright? He is umdali wezulu nomhlaba. And that we can all agree, that creation came from him. And so we are part of creation. African children are part of creation. Why would God make an African child only to hate him, only to banish him, only to punish him? And this is why we are suffering as black people, as African children, because we are using other people's ancestors. We are looking upon Abraham and Moses, which are Jesus' ancestors. They are not your ancestors. To you, they are prophets to learn from. You have your own ancestors that you are neglecting. You have your own culture, your own way of living, of healing, that you are ignoring, that you have become afraid of, that is shunned upon because of the powers that it has. Guys, you must understand that when white people came here, they came with a strategy: divide and conquer. And if they could get rid of our ancestors, they knew that their nation is theirs to take. And this is our failure as black people till today. Because a person who knows who they are is a person who is empowered, is a person who knows how to heal themselves, their nation, is a person who knows how to raise kings and queens, is a person who has an identity and knows how to live within that identity, strive and succeed within that identity, rather than borrowing someone else's identity and trying to succeed off of that. I hope that is making sense. So, if you are sitting there and you have voices in your head telling you to run, they are not demonic. Those are your people. If you know you have a gift and you are waiting for some prophet to impart you, or whatever the case may be, it's not that kind of gift. Our angels don't work in places where their spirits are not fulfilled and appeased. So you may know that, all right, sometimes I see things before they happen. Sometimes I hear things. Sometimes people tell me in my dreams. I see in my dreams I'm going to heal. I see in my dreams. You go to someone, they tell you that, all right, you've got this gift. You then need to move to a place of spirit, where the spirit can be appeased. Ikhuphuke ngendlela yosimoya, ngendlela yobu Africa, ngendlela yethu, where our ancestors can be found. That is the only difference. But if you are sitting there insisting that yours is the right way, and you are suffering with your gift, and you are trying somehow to collaborate your gift in the wrong places, it won't work. Because your people are not welcome there. Your people are people of the light. If wherever you are in a dark place, you will feel it. You then disable your gift. they are unable to rise and help you to help other people. So if you know you have a gift and you have grown up in a stringent household of Christian values and principles, we are not saying drop everything and run. We are saying find yourself, find your people, find your lineage, find your identity. Who are you as a people? And number two, is this thing working for you? Is it working for you? If it's working for you, then by all means. If it's not working for you, why are you staying there years and years? Blacks have this culture of staying for years and years, believing that poverty is noble. Yeah, ukuhlupheka kusho ukuthi for sure ngezulwini. It does not. You are suffering, you are suffering. And when you cross over, life there is not identical to this life here. You don't get to do this thing again. Sure, you may reincarnate, but you don't know as who, in what context, in what time. In this body, as this soul, we need to make sure that you maximize your life. And most importantly, that you are living out your full potential. If you are sitting there and things are not going right, go back to the drawing book. Who am I? Who are we? Who am I meant to be? And surely, if you are suffering for years in one place, then something must be wrong. And your gut is telling you something is wrong. There is nothing wrong with thinking outside the box. The box is something that was made by colonialists to ensure that we are imprisoned, to ensure that we are stripped of identity, so that they can re-identify us. They can clone us to be whatever they want us to be. They used to even give black people names so that it's easier for them. It was a way of re-identification, a way of changing someone's being from a king to a slave. And now that we are free, we are still repeating those same patterns. Ukuthi ukusokola kulungile, ku-right. Amathamba wakho ayaphuka, unamakhanda, awuboni ngamehlo, awuzwa nangezindlebe. You are struggling. You can't keep marriage. You can't keep jobs. You're struggling to raise your children. But you are insisting on staying on one place because of an ideal that you yourself are not sure where it's coming from. Don't be afraid to change if it is that you want to live out your full potential on this earth. It might not be where you are that your spirit is filled and is fed. That is all I'm bringing to your attention today. And I hope that wherever you are, you find your God purpose and you fulfill the reason why you were born onto this earth before your time runs out. Thokozani.